a country town, and it was more my style. No streetcars banging around or anything like that. Although they did had one. They had a track down Main Street, down College Street. I'm sorry, I'm getting a horse here.
Well, what year would this have been?
That was in 1929.
1929. So after you went to
I
school?
graduated in 28. I knew it was I laid out the year, so I laid out the year I went to Terre Haute.
Okay, so you went to school for a year and then
I
you
went
started
to
teaching?
Terre Haute and down in the old neighborhood when I heard that Bill had a teacher's license. I just had trouble getting a job. I got 90. It was 90 or 95, $90, I believe, a month.
$90 a month?
Yeah.
And this was in Palestine?
Yeah, no, it was in a country school.
In the Palestine area?
No, I was down around Eastville.
Oh.
Eastville, where my dad's going to school, country school. And that was his name after the Heath. He must have been farmers down there.
They were a big name even back in those days, the Heath people.
Well, not yet. No, they were just neighbors.
Oh, really?
I think.
Oh.
Although I think they did start dairy or something years before that. The way they got into milk, I think.
So
Ice cream.
they were just farm people and somehow
Yeah.
got into the candy business.
That's the way I understand it. Yeah. They had some kind of recipe they'd gotten somewhere. And first thing I knew, somebody said, well, Heath is a place in Robinson where they make ice cream. and
So you taught a few years and,
yeah,
and then you got married?
I was, I didn't get married, not till 1935. That was in 1930 that I started teaching, right at the fall of 1930. But I know second or third year Model A came out. I was driving Model T yet. And
So when did you move to Marshall and why?
well, I taught school. I think that about 1 year certificate was good for doing school 1 year. Gave me a certificate for 6 years, I believe. Then I could write on the county teacher's examination, and if I could pass that, it would be renewed for another 3 years. And so I studied up on hard and even paid somebody to tutor me on algebra. I'd forgotten.
On algebra?
Yeah. I'd taken in high school. I liked algebra. I'd taken first year algebra, and I'd taken the second year algebra, taken all they had. But I got through it and got another certificate. But that still didn't give me the whole 10 years. I think I only had 8 or 9. Yeah. So I wrote again and got another certificate. And then I decided it was 10 years up. I always got mixed up myself. Anyway, I went to Charleston. Then after the 10 years, I'm getting mixed up here. I guess that's when I came to Marshall.
Right.
And after I got to I had the store on the north side. I'd saved all my life. I never did. I don't mean never. Anyway, I had the store, but and had a boy helping me. But
This was in Palestine or?
no, that was in Marshall.
Okay, so.
Because there was one of these Western Auto stores. You've probably heard of them.
Yeah.
And it was a company up over by St. Louis. And they had a bunch of company stores. They bought those supplies, tires. That's what I was interested in, was tires and batteries.
That was about 1940.
Yeah, it was 1940.
That was, that building, or that store was on the north side of the square?
Yeah, they always called it the old drugstore building. Can't separate it. It's on the north side, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was that one that they put the little cupola roof out on the front here a few years ago, if you remember.
Yes.
I can't, sometimes look, they're changing so much, I can't
But then you moved from there after a while, did you?
Well, no, let's see, I was there about 4 years, and the war came on, and I was 34 years old then. I taught 10 years. I started when I was 20, and that was not the 4th year. And they changed the draft limit to at one time, so they would have taken me. But Roosevelt came out with a edict that they would take no more. It was getting along toward the end of the war. And again, everybody knew that it was being favorably, but of course it was a terrible cost. So they, I stopped and think. So we, sat down. I think I saw it in the paper. Roosevelt had lowered the age limit. They wasn't going to take anybody past either 26 or 28, I forget what. And I was 34.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they had told me ahead of time that I would go in the next month that went. I'd sold the store. And from Paul Walker, you know him.
Paul
Walker.
Oh, yes.
And where was that? And meanwhile, they after they didn't take me, the Vesico called and wanted to know if I'd come up there and work for them. So I worked there about 4 years. I'm sorry, I'm getting hoarse. And I still wanted to get back in the store. So Pat Smith had a little tire shop up there where the old fire station used to be. And I bought that. It was all run down. But and then I was there for 3 years and moved down to the north side of the square. And moved back in I believe in a building right beside where I'd been as a West Toronto.
Now, by the time of the war, you had children, right? They would have taken you even though you were 26 or 28.
They had some. They had earlier, yes. They had taken some over when they did have families, and I had everything ready. All the I'd gone to Robinson to have the birth controls for the birth certificates.
Yeah.
And so they could draw their allotment while I was in the Army. Mm-hmm. And I was just waiting for the next call because they told me anytime you'll be in it. But of course I went down to 20. I can't remember if it was 28 or 26. Anyway, I was 34 with that. So then I quit the Vesico and bought the Western Auto and feel like I improved it some, but anyway, after I was in business for 17 years altogether, not 4 years before I worked at the Vesico, and 7 years, about 17, about 12 years. 12 years then I had the Firestone. It was a Firestone store. It was doing pretty well.
Do any memories come to mind about Marshall back in those days? Anything significant?
Well, of course, I'd always lived in the country, but I was very much impressed with all the things going on in Marshall. Always something going on.
Like what?
Well, band concerts, and I wasn't a very good musician, but I liked it.
So you played, didn't you?
Yeah, I played in the band for 10, 12 years, I don't know.
Played trombone, as I remember.
Yeah. Till I lost my front teeth, and then it didn't work too good.
Yeah.
And
my Uncle Vaughn Arney was the director then.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Vaughn was I've always in Bragg, we had that men's court, if you remember.
Yes.
I think he led.
In fact, I remember they had minstrel shows.
Yeah.
Did you participate in those?
Yeah, I've got one of the books out here now. Once in a while I run into it and I sing some of those old black songs, you know.
Yeah, you have to put on blackface.
Yeah. We couldn't do that now.
No.
Yeah.
But those performances were in the old Strand Theater.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sorry, I got the horse there.
What would you say, Bill? What modern conveniences have affected your life the most? Going back, thinking back.
Well, I suppose electricity, because we didn't have in the country a lot. We just had kerosene, and we did have some gasoline, those Coleman gasoline lights. Now about everybody was using the old, what was this, advertising on the Saturday night, we had the battery radio down on the farm.
And you listen to the radio on Saturday night?
Oh yeah, we listened to the battery radio.
WLS?
Yeah, WLS, barn
Dance.
barn dance. I probably was. Well, we had that on the farm before. We had battery radio up there. We didn't always get to listen to all of us, and not the battery was dead in the middle of it, but we listened to all we could. And then I finally got a old washing machine where they had the old Maytags and put the generator in it and kind of kept the battery every morning.
Going back a little bit, during the Depression, you were teaching school for $90 a month. How were your living conditions?
It went down. It went down from that because the Depression kept getting worse. The worst year of the Depression was in 1933. Now, you asked about the outstanding thing that didn't have much to do with Marshall, but I was a year in the World's Fair, Chicago World's Fair, you've heard of that?
Yes.
I was there 2 years. And of course, by that time, I'd traded car. I had a good little Chevrolet coupe with a rumble seat and everything, but I wasn't married yet. And so I got a load of boys and ran around the country, boys that went to church together mostly. And we made, I think I made 3 trips to the World's Fair in 33 and 34.
Is that right?
I took my dad on one of them. All he had did, because he wouldn't have driven to Chicago, I know.
You drove up Route 1?
Yeah.
Was it paved back in those days?
Yeah. I can remember when they paved it, we could hear it from it was only about, half a quarter of a mile from Route 1. Well, those little part of that, but we could hear them blasting and everything when they built Route 1.
Well, that must have been quite an experience going to Chicago for you small town country boys.
Yeah, I don't know how we found it. I wouldn't have had the nerves to start it then, but one of them had an aunt that lived there. He made arrangements for us to sleep there. And of course, we only, I think, we were on 2 nights. And he went along with us. And I don't know how we ever found it in Chicago, even by inquiry, because he was as much a country boy as I was, but we found him. And well, I don't know. Of course, I wasn't home when they had electricity when we got that. They didn't get that till 2 or 3 years after I came up here.
Oh, I see.
They had the water well then, and electric pump, and they had a nice shower, and everything just like the high living folks did. Well, they had more food because they still had the farm.
Anything else you can think of you'd like to say?
No, I'll think of it after you go on.
Okay. Well, we certainly appreciate you participating in this project, Bill.
I'm glad to tell what I can. I'm sorry.
You had an interesting life.
They probably can't understand it. You think they can?
Oh, I think we can get it, yeah.
I'm sorry. I get, I've always get a horse when I talk too much.
Yeah.
That's the reason I quit singing in the choir, because I could sing one place I couldn't sing.
That's one other thing. How many years did you sing in the Methodist Church choir?
Oh, I don't know. They got me in at by the time we moved up here, our minister at the country church down in West Chapel, not the one at West Union, but on down below Palestine, had been a fairly big preacher in the conference, Southern Illinois Conference. So when we moved up there, he heard us going, he had retired, but they got him preached out of a little country church every Sunday. And he had a nephew who worked up here through Ohio Oil. So he sent ahead that some of his uncles, people in the church he preached here, was up here. So we had been here a week till here came the minister and his wife and this fellow and his wife. And so from the first week we was up here, and they were both very likable people. So long as they knew a lot before we did, because I'm still here.
You started singing in the choir then?
I started singing in the choir because this nephew of a guy from Lawrenceville had the loudest tenor I think I ever heard.
Really?
He could drown out the whole choir if he turned it on.
And you sang in the choir then up until just a few years ago?
Yeah.
Right.
Once I can't remember what, I mean, that wasn't any hard feelings or anything, but must have been when I was working at the Belsico and had to work some nights. So, and anyway, I laid out for a year or two. Can't remember why. But it would have been.
Well, you had to work shift work back at Belsico, so.
I hated shift work.
Yeah.
And, I wish I could have told it in a normal voice.
Well, don't worry about that, Bill. We'll get her down on paper.
But
Anyway, thanks again.
yeah, I'm glad to do it.